right. Good morning, everybody. It is Cowboy 8:30 a.m. EST, and we are just getting started for the day. Looks like our predictions are making it happen, paying off. Price continuing down, unfortunately. Not that I want it to go down. Just I look at what the market wants, and I try to forecast what the market wants. And as it stands, the market wants to stay in the mid 50s for now. Doesn't mean it's not going to go up later. Okay. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's going to go up later. But you know what? If we take a look at the last few halving years in September, price does slump a bit. It slumps, troughs off. And once it gets done with its trough, it starts to head up at the end of September or beginning of October. That's when we get to see price start to take off for that final ascent into the bull market. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to happen this year, right? It doesn't mean Bitcoin's going to do that. This halving cycle, nothing is guaranteed, anything can happen and all that. But if the last four halving cycles are any kind of, or I should say the last three halving cycles are any kind of clue as to what's going to happen, we can use that as an indication, right? That what is it? History doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. So what's interesting about this particular cycle is that we had that all-time high prior to the halving. And I think that price was a bit overextended. So because of that, there is kind of the illusion of price, not performing as well after the halving, but the reality is that it performed so incredibly well that I think it's just taken a little bit longer to, to kind of come to its senses. And again, it's been on a downtrend the whole time, and there's a high likelihood the price might continue to head down to the low 50s. Right now, I did create a sort of a target at about 54,500. And that target would be due to some liquidity based on price action back here, where price did make a pivot point on the way down. I should actually say on the way up after heading down, right? So as price made that move, let me find my little arrow here, this pivot point right there, right? So we'll zoom in on that. So price was, it made that big move due to the Japanese yen, fiasco, if you will. And on the way back up, it came back down and just made a quick little hop off of 54,500 basically, and then kept heading up. So with that, we see price continuing to move, and it might head down and bounce off that again. We'll see. Let's take a look at the liquidity. We'll do that real quick. I don't see any questions. Actually, it's pretty quiet. We don't even have the usually amount of people watching that we usually do. Interesting. Let's see here. Let's see if we can grab some free credits off the Kingfisher.io. I do have a link, referral link in the description, and the Kingfisher.io is a great tool. I mean, it's like almost like giving you free money because it gives you targets. So if the price is heading in a certain direction, then you can take a look at these liquidation nodes, and there's a good chance that that's where price will go to, because it's going to grab that money. And in this case, price is a bit bearish at the moment, and there are liquidation nodes, a small amount of them, but they're there at about 54,200 and 54,000-ish. And that's right where our target is. Now, if price did flip to the upside, then I'd be looking at a move to 58,300. So let's put a line up there on our chart, 58,300. That's an upside target, and it could go there. I don't know that it's ready to at this time. So I think this 54,000 is a good target. Again, the actual liquidity is a little bit lower than that. So what I would do with this, the kind of trade I'd look for, just based on where the liquidity is, let's go down to a lower time frame so we have some better ways to look at our data here. So we said 58,300, right? And that's up in this sort of consolidation that went back to the beginning of the month here. You had this rectangle here where price kind of bounced back and forth. And 58.3 is 58.8. So 58.3 right there. That's a price could pop up to here, right? And we can see that happen. Right now, I don't think it's going to happen. I think price is too bearish, and there's a decent chance price might head down. Now, ideally, if I were to take a short, I would look for some kind of a pullback to the upside. I try to sell the rallies. I wouldn't want to get into this long move down, because the longer price heads in this direction, the more likely it's going to bounce up before it heads down. There's always that chance that price just heads straight down. It could happen, right? But it's not normal. And in fact, typically you don't get more than 7 of these candles in a row, right? So at some point, and we have a decent indication here because we have some pivot points right here on the chart, right here and right here, kind of where price is right now, there should be a pullback. And so as price pulls back, and we might even see it pull back to grab liquidity at the bottom of this big consolidation here, this might be the entry. You might see a good entry right here. Now, the best entry probably was up here. And I was asleep at that time, but we could see a nice entry right there. So I'm not saying it's going to do this, but if we see anything like this, anything at all like this, it might be the way to trade it. And it might happen sooner than what I just wrote on the chart. It could happen in the next couple hours, and it might only go this high. So, we always want to pay attention to, again, I don't like to jump into a moving train. I want that train to come back, and then I grab it when it stops, right? That's the best way, in my opinion, to handle a trade like this. Via the Guerilla, how are you, sir?
I'm good, man. Just grab them by the train,
Yeah, I was crying in my beard earlier today. Yeah.
You were crying into your beard?
I heard that my Thursday show got canceled.
It did?
Yeah, I heard that there's going to be a certain Grecian that's on today at.
Oh yeah. Gus is going to be on today at 9:00.
Dude, that's a lot. A lot of people are going to be stoked about that.
Hell yeah!
9:00.
Hell
you
yeah.
mean you mean 9:00 in about 20 minutes?
Yeah.
In 20 minutes. Okay, so you'll hop off halfway through
Yeah.
this show.
Absolutely.
Okay. So actually, are we doing Markets Mayhem or no?
No.
Okay.
We'll stop next week.
Then I will continue this show, but I imagine most of our Algo Factory people are going to hop over to Gus.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. This is it was supposed to be yesterday, but the schedule was so crazy. Like, could you do 9 a.m. tomorrow? I was like, done. For him, I'd do 9 a.m. tomorrow.
All right. What I might do with this is I might get a kind of an overview from the people inside of the Algo Factory. We'll see what they want to do. Lisa Gray says, thanks for the insights. Yes, thank you very much. Cartographer, that's a great name. Thank you. The Cowboy Cartographer. I might have to go with that. So yeah, we want to look for a move back. V, I'll talk right as we flip over. Yeah. So basically, that's what I'm looking at. It's a good trade right here. Again, I don't expect for this to just go straight down. You look at any of these moves, you can see that there are blue candles inside of these moves down, right? So, and then the algos will be the guide. I'll have some algorithmic clues as to whether or not that's a good move. And it's just one to keep an eye on. So it might not happen. Might go straight down. Let's see what we have in the comments. No requests of any kind. That's Bitcoin in general. We do have some data coming out. We had some data just come out. That was the unemployment claims. Let's see what that looks like.
Unemployment is down, man. All time. Unemployment is down. Inflation is down. Everything's going great, bro.
Actually, the non-farm employment change was negative. The bad news is good news. So when, it was actually the unemployment change was a massive miss. The forecast was 144 jobs added, and it was only 99,000. So instead of 144,000, that was like a 50% miss. I would expect that to really push FX markets to the upside. Let's see. And for that matter, index futures. I was actually watching it. It was already pushed up by the prior data that came out. So let's see what happened on the minute chart. Let's see if we got some FUCKERY. Not a lot. I mean, there's not a lot. No, most of the FUCKERY was from the prior data, which was, that was it at 6:15 a.m. Yeah, that's why. Okay. So this was the move right here. This pump up right there. This is on the minute chart. So when you zoom out and you look at the market for real, that's, not that big of a move, but when you're trading FX and you're scalping, that's a pretty big move. So, you got to watch out for those announcements. They'll mess you up. That's why I don't trade during the news. I just don't do it. If it's a big enough announcement, like, I don't know, CPI, and then I see that the market's kind of started to digest it, and I know the market's going to go in a particular direction, then I'll trade it. But I don't generally enter trades before the news. There are sometimes I do. There's a way to do it, and I share that way inside Algo Factory, which we're going to flip over to right now. So via the Guerilla, can you please get us out of here?
Most indubitably. Folks, follow us over to Algo Factory Private Live, where you get all the goodies and insights, especially next week. You don't want to miss next Thursday's drip. It is going to be quite smashing. So, follow us over. Join us for less than the price of a bottle of water. Less than the price of a bottle of water. That's $1.66 per day, or £1.20 for those that are living under the crown.
Join us. Water costs
join us or die.
Join us or die. Let's just say that.
Yes.
Join us or die.
Join us or die.